Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. If you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good.
You know, we'll stay around the country for 15 years, just bomb the hell out of everybody.
I've been going all over South Carolina like most people. I haven't slept much. But look what's going on in Israel. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day.
Because my people, the Jewish people, emerged from the depths of hell for dispossession and genocide.
We as Jews are embarrassed what's happening there in the state of Israel, in the Jewish name.
Shalom, Yeladim. Jeffrey fucking Epstein, the greatest pedophile in human history, the most dangerous individual on earth, hung himself on August 10th, 2019 at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, New York City. This is the official story we were told by the media, but there lies a deeper truth to those who follow the rabbit hole. For those who don't get the picture, this man had deep connections with the elite class, Israeli intelligence, various government agencies, and many don't believe he committed suicide in his cell. There lies a deeper conspiracy for those who want to reach the truth. You see, it was foretold hundreds of years ago in an ancient tale that an evil demon would rise to spread carnage across all the lands. They warned us of his arrival, but we were too naive to listen. Today, I'm going to explain how this rise to power was exactly prophesied by tales of ancient mythology. Everything can be explained once you know the truth. Let's get straight into it. Before I reveal the true identity of Uncle Ev, let's discuss some common traits of the individual. Jeffrey Epstein, the man gilded in riches, was a Jewish child trafficker that brought carnage upon this world through his careful plotting of the mass control of world leaders, the elite class, and the media through lobbying and blackmail operations. Those controlled elites would then be used by the Israeli intelligence to shift support of the Western world to Zionism. Physically, the common Jew is said to have a black hat, the skin more akin to Eastern European, Middle Eastern colors, and a more prominent nose. Now let's see which supernatural being fits this description. That's right, the true identity of the Big Stein is the Tengu. The more I see this, the more uncanny it gets. We're going to split the evidence into 3 segments: physical evidence, characteristics, and mythology. I, Maruhi J Matholomew Academy, am not suicidal and not once thought of suicidal thoughts. If I don't upload for a while, just know that they got me, okay? The first clue lies in the physical appearance of the Tengu. As you can see here, Tengus are characterized as having a prominent nose, a black hat similar to either a Jewish tefillin or a kippah, and a red skin. Possibly originally drawn to illustrate sunburn on a white skin or to emphasize the difference in their skin to the Japanese. Very common before the invention of the NAACP. Common depictions of the Tengu include them holding 2 objects. One is a fan and the other is a scroll. The Tengu fan is a plant called the yatsure. The name yatsure comes from the words 8 and hand. 8 back then generally meant many and doesn't actually refer to the amount of number the leaves has. Most yatsure comes with an average about 9 leaves, just like a Hanukkah menorah. The scroll the Tengu holds is called the Scroll of the Tiger. Tiger in Japanese is Tora. Tora, just like the Torah scroll. It's like they want us to figure this out. You see, your racist uncle theorized that during the early days of the Silk Road, Jewish merchants would travel to the east as far as the coast in search of trade and buy one get one free deals. It's possible that during this era, Jewish people made it all the way to Japan in search of trade, and the Japanese, who never saw people beyond the Chinese, record these people as tales of legend, outsiders who look different and therefore are evil. This is Kuramadera, a temple located in Kyoto. According to legends, it's said that creatures such as the Tengu live in this area to this day, hence all the statues of the Tengu. Guess which symbol appears in this temple? That's right, Star of David. In the Tengu Mandala, they made Tengus even more Jewish looking somehow. Up until this point, we're mostly just talking about a well-discussed schizo-chud theory about the potential roots of the Tengu. When I make these points, I'm not saying that Tengus are or represent the average Jew. My argument is that Tengus were created to warn people of the coming of Jeffrey Epstein, and the return of the Tengu all these years later. This is the point where the connections between Epstein and Tengus begin. Second clue, the characteristics of the Tengu. It's common knowledge that Tengus regularly kidnap children, sometimes for rape. If you get kidnapped by a Tengu, there's a good chance you're gonna get raped. Where'd this come from anyway? Because there's no way these qualities originated from Asian Jewish merchants who did this in Japan. Or anywhere for that matter. Anyone who says otherwise in the comment section is banned for life. Personally, I believe that these traits and stories of the Tengu were prophesied by an ancient clairvoyant in Japan thousands of years ago. and that a future Tengu will return to cast these evils onto the world, Jeffrey Epstein. One way to ward off kidnapping Tengus is to say you have or ate fish, specifically mackerel. Now, there aren't any specifics on whether Jeffrey Epstein disliked mackerel, but according to the Epstein files, he may have had a disdain for fish. Can this be a trait from when he was a Tengu? But do you know what his favorite food is? Beef jerky. Now, one of the most famous things about the Tengu today is the Tengu brand beef jerky. If I was a prideful rich Tengu, I'd be eating that shit all the time. Speaking of pride, Tengus are often associated with vanity and pride. Jeffrey Epstein was extremely arrogant, overly self-confident, and entitled as fuck. His many billion-dollar properties were covered in all sorts of fancies and riches. He had a fleet of planes and owned an island. So we have no problem checking this off, right? The third clue lies in the mythology of the Tengu. In the earliest Japanese record written in 637 AD, the first written mention of the name Tengu in Japan occurs in the Nihon Shoki. It describes a loud shooting star that a Buddhist monk identified as a heavenly dog, Tengu. Like this and other ancient sources, it was said that the Tengu was a sign of an omen of war. An omen of war? Sounds a lot like how Mossad agent Jeffrey Epstein and the Israelis, through blackmail and AIPAC operations, keep bringing the United States into conflicts in the Middle East. In the earliest days of the Tengu, they were known as being the enemies of Buddhism. Their purpose in life was to cause chaos and throw the whole world into disorder. What's the opposite of Buddhism? An apartheid ethno-state. Last point, Jeffrey Epstein's death has been prophesied by the Tengu. One ancient Tengu from the 12th century is Stokutenno. As a human, after suffering defeat and exiled by the hands of his enemies, he died in torment, vowed to haunt Japan as a great Tengu. Now let's see how Jeffrey Epstein died. In the hands of his enemies, suffered and was tormented in his cell. Stoku vowed to come back to bring calamity to Japan as a Tengu. What happened 834 years later after Stoku was born? Jeffrey Epstein was born. Could Jeffrey Epstein be a reincarnation of a Japanese emperor? I'll leave that up to debate, but personally, I think of this event as more of an augury or a prognostication of some sorts. As a bonus, the year Empress Toku was born and the day Jeffrey Epstein died both landed the year of the Earth Pig. Probably doesn't mean anything, but I find it a funny coincidence. Some common questions you may have. Does this explain 9/11? No, I still think the Muslims did that one. Does this explain the famine in Gaza? Yes, I think this does explain that. Do all Jews hate mackerels? No, my boy Isaac loves to eat sushi. So the only Tengu in this common domain is Epstein. Anyways, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein is a Tengu. All the evidence is here, and I was the first to realize this, so I hope I get a Nobel Peace Prize by the end of the week. I am not suicidal. Again, if I don't upload for a while, Mossad gave me the Epstein treatment. Thanks for watching, follow the rabbit hole.